ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to MatchFit Entertainment's broadcast of the official Asrnz 2025 GT3 series. It is round 5 at the Americas, and
we just lost comms on Davo, but as he was just saying, welcome aboard everybody to what is round 5 at Cota, here at a very wet Cota too, I might add, and currently in this qualifying session, which is split into 2 parts, and right at the minute it is, as mentioned, very, very wet, and I don't think it'll matter if you're the first to run or the last to run in this qualifying session. It's going to be an absolute poolside display. Also, Damien Jones, aka Jarkus, looking to post some times as well. Not sure if the latter actually have already completed a lap, but maybe unclassified. Wouldn't be too hard in these conditions to actually get a track cut and negate the lap. And then based on the qualifying session, there's not too much time left to go.
that's correct, J-Man.
Yeah. Welcome back, and welcome aboard, viewers, to everybody already tuning in.
Yes, welcome aboard. I think that the water has got into the cables a little bit here in the comms booth here tonight, J-Man, here at a very wet Cota.
Yeah, it has, and we've just intermittently lost you again. So it's maybe a connection issue with Davo's Cota as mic input or something. So we might get him to just look for another port there. And hey, look, we'll pick it up as we can see the Valvoline Mustang of Steve O'Malley, who is in there on a 2:24.1. Best time up there at the moment, Nev Shields on a 2:22.0. As these guys wind down the final 3 minutes of their qualifying sessions before we see the pros and the silvers go out. But pro-ams and ams out there at the moment, doing a good job in these conditions by what we're seeing. A lot of spray. Be interesting to see what we get here tonight in respect of what we've got going on. And what we have got going on is we do have 2 qualifying sessions here tonight, and we do have 2 races, so both 40-minute round. Not a super sprint, just a sprint. So 2 40s, and oh my gosh, that so technical, tricky towards the back end of the lap, as we see the Mustang at the hands of Steve Melling just incredibly sideways through that right left and then another left combination towards the back end of the lap. Such a cool circuit.
He's working hard for that, isn't he, J-Man?
Oh, mate, he is absolutely up on the wheel. 21 in tonight, and it's a track that maybe not everybody's favourite. It's a big lap. It's a commanding lap, and look, I think probably a little bit of the engineering of the cars, given that it is so wet, might go out the window. I'm not sure what the practice sessions look like during the week, but maybe turning up with the drift spec Mustang is going to work for Steve-O here, as he just comes back across the line. Does he improve? No, he didn't improve that one, but Thackeray did. So Eddie to the top on a 2:22.0, so only by the smallest of margins. Oh, what happened there?
And up on his time again, J-Man, by a healthy amount as well at the moment.
Yep. So only around 30 seconds, is it? Or I think they're already out, sorry.
Oh,
so
I think the boys are out by 30 seconds, that's right. Yep. So the pros and the silver boys now heading out onto the track as the pro-am boys starting to wrap up their final lap here in qualifying for race 1, J-Man, in this 2-race format here tonight at a very wet Cota, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard again to MatchFit Entertainment.
Do us a favour there, Davo, and just for my viewing and also the viewers, just pick up on the 99 car of Mr. Louis van der Venter. Now, he's out there in the Bentley. think one of the only Bentleys in this field.
Well, they nicknamed the Boatley, so it
The
might be
Boatley
okay. It might be
go well
okay.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, his 4 tenths up. He's likely going to drop into the 222 bracket, so he'll be amongst some good company there with Turner and
Shields.
And Shieldsy. However, Shieldsy and Thackeray on 22 zeros might be just a little hurdle too far, although the Delta is screaming for Louis right now. Can he finish the lap?
It is. And look,
he's track cut. He's incredibly wide. He's bailed out of it.
Oh, no. So he definitely had Turner in his sights there, J-Man. As
Thackeray's going to finish his lap, though, Davo.
Start to flick towards, yes, we will pick up Thackeray actually coming across the line. He's got easily half a tenth up his sleeve there.
21.5.
Oh, very nice. So, yeah, good chunk of time there. Damien Jones just rounding the final corner here. Will this be his first flyer?
No, Jones was a part of the first phase of qualifying, so
okay.
This will be Jones out as he parks the
of course, yes.
The Red Bull inspired livery there, the Aston Martin. So good job there. And hey, look, I think this next one's going to be really interesting because I think there's been a fair bit of practice during the week. There's a little bit of chitter chatter in the background about what was going to be the session, and I think it was classified as a random, but maybe leaning towards the wet. So, and I think that's clearly what we're going to get.
As we just pick up on Shane Frodo and the cars, the 3 preceding cars behind him, all chasing some temperature in the tyres just before rounding the final corner there, J-Man. So these guys very focused. They know they don't have a lot of time to work with here. 5 minutes to go. This will be their first flying lap. That is Frodo out in front at the moment. Who is that in front of him there? Actually, just try and get a panning shot.
So I think Perkins may well be the lead car out there.
Okay.
Davo. Oh, and he's just got it hard into the fence. Before he came out onto the big back straight, he just lost the rear of the car, and it was a slow burn. I'll tell you what, he would have seen the fence coming for a good 3 or 4 seconds before it made contact.
Yeah, just as it drops off the hill there out of that left-hander before the corner onto the straightaway there. Like you said, bit of a slow burn there, and yeah, he would have seen that coming, wouldn't he, mate? And just not being able to grab it up, it's just very, very, very wet out there tonight.
Yeah, so next in line of getting out of the pit lane to embark on his first flying lap will be none other than Phil Antoon, aka Maverick, and the number 3 Datsun. So Phil's on a bit of a mission at the moment. I've been watching the point structure, obviously missing the first round, and then he's on the comeback trail. Has had some good results and earlier times in changeable conditions. Saw that car very, very quick. So expect this one here
to be none other than quick. Yeah, that's right.
I think probably somewhere in the 220, low 220 bracket possibly would be something pretty comfy as a banker. Certainly if he punches into the 19s, it'll be impressive in these conditions because it is proper wet. There's no doubt about it. Track conditions at the moment are wet. Rain decreasing in 10 minutes. However, we'll be all done. We're about to get a read.
So we just see Webley turning the Mustang out of what looks like, is that the final corner there? Not sure where he's placed. It is actually just coming up to that the final corner there. So yeah, look, even the best here struggling a little bit there, J-Man, to get a banker.
Botado to the top now on a 19.4, so another gigger. So that Lamborghini I forgot to mention as well, watching that in early practice, the car looks super, super strong. Also Aerosmith looking comfy in the BMW. We know he doesn't mind the wet conditions in this BMW. We saw him put on an absolute clinic on a dry tyre and damp conditions at the Nordschleife earlier this season, and he'll seek a little bit of confidence probably out of those conditions in that drive.
Yeah, no, true. And rumours say that the Lambo at the hands of Frodo too, not too shabby in the rain, like you mentioned. So to be watched definitely in these sort of conditions. Provisionally, we do have Shane Frodo on the top of the list. Phil Antoon in second. Tony Spence, one we haven't mentioned yet, J-Man, currently holding third provisionally, Arrowsmith, Nippers, Carson, Thackeray, Baker, and Wadsworth in 9th, and Nev Shields still holding down 10th. And just a quick mention, Thackeray still holding down 7th provisionally, one of the Pro-Am boys there, so good work from him. But Tony Spence doing a good job.
Plenty of good deltas going on, and Spence definitely looks hooked up. He's heading towards 3.5, 4 tenths improvement on his, but Fodderdo, the delta just climbing up to as much as 7.5 tenths, hovering around that 6 to 6.5 tenths at the moment.
Very healthy, very healthy
to contend with, and he is trailing the silver class driver of Tony Spence, who's just slightly better on the delta than his previous 220.7. However, he just loses it. Shane gets... I tell you what is that? It's compromised, Shane. He couldn't bring it back. It's blowing what would have been a great lap, and Phil Antunes capitalised on it too. He actually just went across at a 2:19.0 to just really put a exclamation mark on that. 33 seconds. Can Fodderdo get across the line? Yes, he can. Gets across with 30 seconds to go. That is an important
that is important
part of the equation.
That absolutely is. Obviously that just a slight unforced slip up there from Spence affected both their laps, and they were both hot laps, J-Man, Spence and Fodderdo alike. So very lucky for both those boys. Did Spence get across as well? I think he did. So nice work.
I think he did. And look, we talked about Perkins' early lap, put it in the fence right where he is right now. So he's cleared the danger zone there. He is on a lap. He's probably level pegging with where he was up to that point. Now we don't have any more read because the lap was abandoned before this point now. So we've got no delta effectively on
Perkins. No.
Yeah, but we have got deltas on Antoon, 3 tenths up. Fodderdo, 10.5 up.
And Nippers, J-Man, Carson as well, all improving.
Yeah, big numbers for Carson and Nippers. 6 tenths for Nips and nearly 7 tenths for Carson. So good to see Sam Carson back on track as well with the lap speed to match. And Wally Baker as well. He's looking at a good number as well. So if he can press on. But the next time that we will see across the line, I think probably should be Perkins. I feel Perkins will be one to deliver a lap.
Perkins with an void lap, I think, too, J-Man.
No, it was because it's his
first. It's his first.
Back.
Yep. So up into the final corner here.
And he's pressed on a lot of understeer into the final turn.
Deep,
very wet down there.
Yep.
Drives it off square. What does this do for Perkins? He goes
nicely.
He makes good on a 220.5. It'll be under threat from Spence, though. Is Spence on a clean lap? Yes, he is. Fodderdo got nearly a second.
And Fodderdo...
Antoon's just gone into the 18s, 18.7.27.
And Fodderdo just rolling through, and very nice tight apex into the final corner here. Watch Fodderdo here.
18.7.37 plays an 18.
Wow.
7.27.
That is close. Spence and Nippers with a very healthy number there as well, J-Man.
Also, Arrowsmith dropped into the 19s as well, 19.6. So that's a great effort for our championship leader just to be in touch starting from the second row. So Antoon over Fodderdo, front row. Second row, Arrowsmith, Spence. Third row, Perkins, Nippers. Fourth, Wadsworth, Webley. So good to see the Ferraris up there in Perkins and Wadsworth. Webley in the Mustang. 8th, Carson 9th. Thackeray driving out of the Pro-Am class and current series leader for the Pro-Am class. Puts a couple of...
holds it in the top 10 there, doesn't he, mate?
Yeah, puts a couple of big guns behind him too. And Geordie Moss and Wally Baker as well. So good to see. And then heading further down the field, Shields. Turner would go 2-3 in class for 13th, 14th. And then if we drop a little bit further down, we could see that, Uncle Joe and Kenny Simpson going to fight it out for the AM honours in 20th and 21st. So it's going to be a really tough battle out there. Interesting to see once we flick out of this session what our conditions are going to look like as the clock winds down. Try and get a read on our weather model here.
So, look, thank you for everybody tuning in so far. Hit the like and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching MatchFit Entertainment's coverage of Asrnz's 2025 GT3 series. It is round 4 here. Sprint format in what has been very wet conditions for Q1. So sprint format tonight, 2 40-minute races. Give the boys something to think about. Compulsory pit stop thrown in there for good measure, as always. And limited tyre sets, which actually, if it's a wet race,
it's negated.
It shouldn't affect them. So, like J-Man said, it'll be just interesting to see how the server ticks over and what conditions the weather is giving us. So, it's a bit of a game, and I'm sure these guys are more than interested as well. But yeah, look, J-Man and myself love a wet race. Always throws a spanner in the works. The best laid plans can come unstuck pretty quickly. But yeah, good numbers.
Pretty hectic for somebody like I think probably I'm looking at like Wadsworth, Webley there, 7th and 8th. You know, the contenders pace, but they're far enough back to be in a lot of spray, and then everybody further back from that's going to be a hell of a scene. Not sure, Davo, whether you've actually got a graphic there for the points. I just want to have a little bit of a touch on that.
I'm sort of not prepared for that. We might do that in between before the next race. So,
but yeah, on that note, we can actually come to you now because of the very good work that Mr. John Carter's done with the points. We can actually look into a little bit later on. We'll give you an idea of what it looks like right now without a drop round, and then we'll be able to actually implement that drop round to see what that looks like, because it certainly paints a different picture when we take away the did not start in round 1 for the likes of Phil Antoon and Shane Fododo, who've been coming on strong.
That's right. That's right.
So, however, we will touch on that when we get opportunity further into the broadcast. But as we speak, we do have the cars out there, and this will be all about tyre pressure, getting them correct, getting them set up. We've now got an idea on the weather model. No rain falling, no rain scheduled to fall for the next 30 minutes, according to the weather widget. So potentially a drying track.
However, very wet track at the moment, isn't it, J-Man? And it's calling it as a wet track, but
it is.
like you just mentioned, should potentially drive fairly quickly. Who's on what?
Look, and it gives you options here, because as you just mentioned to the viewers, that there is a compulsory pit stop in here, CPS for tyres. So, you know, look, if the trend is going to be that the track's drying, I guess that we might see some really, really smart plays here. What we know out of when we ran the Nordschleife round is that if the track is damp, the option tyre is definitely the slick. So look to see some of the real propeller heads get out there and get onto that slick tyre as soon as that call goes across to damp.
Yes, I would expect so. But then, you know, like, geez, do some of the boys run hot for a little bit until that wet gets a little bit sketchy, and do that changeover a little bit later in their race. And I think that will depend on where they are in the field and how much traffic they're in, I suppose, and what sort of battle they're in. As we saw at Nords as well, you know, like these guys getting, you know, what we call just getting held up a little bit by just a battle that's going on in front of them, and quickly slipping into the pits there and just giving themselves some space and getting that tyre change done quick, smart, as a fairly orderly. It doesn't look like there's a lot of tyre warming going on, J-Man. So are we thinking majority wet? Obviously, that everyone's going to be on the wets. So they're obviously trying to keep the temperature out of them, aren't they? Because they will wear pretty quickly as that track dries.
Well, look, I'm already looking at it, and there's not a lot of spray, to be honest.
Already, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to take too long with an ambient temperature of 21 and a track temp of 25. You look at that graphic now, already coming through the final sector, there's already somewhat of a dry line forming there.
Yeah, yep.
So
we're gonna see some early pit stops, aren't we, mate? That's what you're saying.
I feel like we are. I'm going to go down through the field right now, and I'm going to see if anybody has been brave enough to do it.
Who's taking their brave pills today?
I tell you.
For this one, as the boys roll up and get into formation here.
No one's done it.
This is race 1, round 4 at Circuit of the Americas. What is a wet track, a drying wet track, we suspect, or very much so. Thanks Asrnz for bringing us your 2025 GT3 series. Thank you MATCHFIT Entertainment and obviously Race Command again for all their technical support, server and sign up at its best.
Oh,
Race Command.
Straight
away, and a jump from a good jump from Antoon.
Yep.
In the skyline, very orderly, very tricky T1 here, J-Man.
Giga Racer, so that Perkins, it looked like...
Yeah, it was Perkins around, J-Man, but the guy's just sorting that out very quickly. It looks like Aerosmith down a spot to Spence up the pointy end. Nash going back in position as well, and I think Melling getting tangled up in that a little bit as well, that first corner. One of the trickiest T1s in the game, I must say, J-Man. It is a killer corner.
Well, it's so inviting because it's an uphill brake zone, so it really asks you to push deep in there, and it's kind of like it's a disappearing apex. You know, you don't really see it till you ride on it. It's not hard to push wide, but hey, look, this will be interesting. Antoon Firth and Spence gone with. Now, the cars involved in that earlier incident was Jacob Wadsworth and Lee Perkins, so Wadsworth readdressed that, and Perko on the move already, straight down the inside of the Nelson Marine car of Nev Shields, and he's already on the back of Wally Baker, so he's on the move, looking to make amends. 40-minute race, not a massive amount of time to try and make good, and we've got positional changes. Nippers just put a move on championship leader Stu Aerosmith. Also, Shackelford, Vandeventer as another move.
And Moss on, I think it was Turner as well, but Thackeray going backwards, J-Man. Oh, and more contact actually just there between Thackeray and Carson there. It's messy
Thackeray
in there.
Very, very loose.
And we got Jones just in the background. These guys just bunching up. This is lap 1, ladies and gentlemen. We called this in these sort of conditions at Cota. Very difficult. Field well bunched. Thackeray back to 13th, J-Man.
Yeah, Friday with a big look on Antoon into the final turn. Very, very big look. They just made a little bit of margin in that back half of that lap on Tony Spence, but I can tell you Friday wants to go already, showing intent, and we've got some positional changes going on. Kenny Simpson in to take the drive through. Everybody thereafter actually gaining a spot on that, but yeah, interesting. Just the attitude of Shane Fodderdo already. And then Turner Jones.
It is on. It is so on. Perkins going back on Melling as well. J-Man. So that's been a bit of a to and fro over the first lap. Melling not happy to give that position up lightly.
And he's sizing up Thackeray now, and I don't think Thackeray's pressures are right because he doesn't look comfortable.
Oh, he's just been going backwards. Who is that 68 drive through? Oh, cleared. That is Kenny Simpson just clearing there. We saw that pop up on the screen. So, Perkins on the outside of Melling. There's a little bit of a gizzing going on here. Perkins getting impatient.
Lots of feeling.
Melling doesn't want to let it go, and look in the background there. And it's on. Shields, Wadsworth, all getting involved.
The car on the move too is Nippers. He's just overtaken championship leader and his title combatant at the moment on uncorrected order without the drop round is Asrnz, and he gets past him, and Nippers with the fastest straight line speed too. He has managed to get that thing himself, and Carso, the other car, 263k an hour down the back chute. There's a lot of cars that are only making sort of 253 to 257.
Webley on Carson. Webley on Carson, side by side through a couple of very awkward corners there. That's Jordan Moss coming up from behind. Let's get out of the front of Jordan Moss's car here.
Oh, look at that, sideways from Webley. Damp track now, good call. That was from John Carter. Yeah, I do see that. That'd be an option to get off of this tyre. Nice and early. Does anybody play it?
Fackery and Shields back. This is still on, J-Man. Look at it go. These guys up into the final corner here. Melling in amongst that. Oh, bit of contact between the two.
A little bit of gizzing in there. Melling was the loser in that exchange.
He just had to get out of it. It was all going on around him.
Webley Moss.
Webley Moss.
And Damien Jones.
So Moss now past Webley. We missed that. Let's get back onto that. So here we are up into T1. Webley running very deep in the Mustang. Mossy getting the Merc turned in. Webley with nothing. Mossy now leads the way. So maybe the Mustang not with the right tyre pressures either, J-Man. Just quiet.
No. Now, Webley Jones exchanging again.
So that Jones was the next car in behind Mossy.
Yep. And Webley's just speedwaying that Mustang. He must be going to get off that tyre real soon because he's no love at all.
Fackery Wadsworth in the background.
Also
Shields
Nash Perkins.
Oh, the Perkins-Nash Shields battle. It has not let up. We're only a couple of laps in. Plenty of action going on. You can see in the background there, that is Wadsworth, Fackery and Melling, and they have been going at it as well. Here we go, the boys side by side. Perkins-Nash, couple of Ferrari.
Well, he gives them a little tickle up on the corner exit.
It is, come on, get on it. If you're going to do it, let's do it. And a little bit of another sideways rub there, which has made him vulnerable.
Yeah, a little bit further up the road, the BMW of Stu Asrnz starting to put a whole lot more pressure on the Nissan of Nippers. Now, I wonder if that's a tyre thing. So those boys carry on, not willing to get off the tyre yet.
Just picking up a replay of Damien Jones getting past Brandon Webley there. So Webley, he almost looked like he let him go, but I think he's just really trying to come to grips with that tyre, and it really struggling.
Yeah, he's off again. He's off again at the front. Oh, the car is broken. Is the steering broken? I think it is.
Oh, so
he's had a big, just go maybe a pick back up on Webley. Cameras don't know what they're doing.
No, they don't. They don't. Where's he gone?
Where is he?
We've lost him.
Okay, we might have lost him outright. Might have gone, might have bailed. But back to the battle, Stu Asrnz, Matty Nipris. That's a good battle going on. These guys battling it out now. They had a little bit of a coming together at the Nordschleife, and I don't want to stir the pot, but there was a fair bit of feeling in that.
And, come on, let's stir the pot. Look,
yeah, we love it. It's all part of it, you know, and we're all grown men. We can get past it, but look, we'll entertain it. And those two find themselves back on track together. And like I said, they are currently 1 and 2 in the series.
Yes, absolutely. And we just see, we do have cameras on them at the moment, and we could just see Aerosmith chasing that wet bit of track offline there already in the BMW, trying to keep those tyres temps down. J-Man as he chases down Nippers. Nippers sneaking past him a couple of laps back.
Yep.
And now all over the back of the Skyline. Or is he all over the back of it? Oh, it looks like he's still struggling a little bit in the BMW.
Yeah, there's certainly places he looks stronger, but then this back piece, which is what happened the lap before, the GTR just seems to manage to change direction through that tighter stuff in the back sector of the lap just a little bit better, and he just creates a gap, and then you'll see that Stu will come back here at the end of the lap and then into sector 1 heading to sector 2. He just manages to close back up again. I think the BMW is pretty good under brakes.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid, doesn't it?
Some movement in the pits now. Carson, Jones, Wadsworth all deciding for the option tyre now, being a damp track. I think a slip tyre is definitely the go. However, 21 ambient, 26 track, so the track's already come up a degree. So pressuring these tyres for the next 30 minutes will be critical if you're going to get on a slip tyre this early.
Asrnz through the first sector is super quick, all over the back of Nippers at the moment.
Yep.
We also have got, I think it was, who was I just looking at then? It was Perkins on Shackelford as well. Very tight. We might just get a little bit of that action in.
Oh, Stewie's super close.
Yeah, super close, super close. So yes, in the background here, just getting cameras on the Perkins Shackelford as they run down through that little funny downhill section towards the left-hander onto the back straight here. Shackelford covering. You can clearly see that dry line now, J-Man. And Perkins with a good...
Not sure what happened there, but Wadsworth through the lane. Only stopped for 12 seconds. Didn't take a tyre, so hasn't cleared his official stop. However, Carson and Jones have.
Okay, interesting.
Grimmer and Simpson are in the lane off the jacks now, so look for those two to...
Perkins, sorry to interrupt there, J-Man. Just way losing his brake mark there by about 20 metres. Looked like Shackelford saw him coming, gave him the space, and overshooting the left-hander at the back. The end of the back straight there, into the sand and back out. So lucky for him. Back to Asrnz on Nippers though, J-Man.
Yep, and then also...
Asrnz in.
Yeah, also Tony Spence in as well. So this is a big play. I think they've obviously realised that this is the time to go. Best of the stoppers so far would be Damien Jones with a 33 stationary, gives him a minute 13 outright. But yeah, a little curious as to Wadsworth's play there. 12-second stop, 50 seconds, and he's still on a wet tyre by my calculation as well. So I'm not sure what the play was or whether he just overshot his box.
Yep.
But,
okay.
Something's going on there. Asrnz.
So Geordie Moss in as well as Rusty Shackelford as well, J-Man.
Yeah, so be interested to see the numbers on Tony Spence's stationary time versus Stu Asrnz. There wasn't a lot of time on track between them. But yeah, Spence optimal there with a 32. Asrnz, he also gets a 32. So they leave the lane together. That'll be interesting. So it puts a little bit of pressure on Matty Nippers
to perform.
To make sure that he gets his pit stop correct.
For sure.
Because he was right on him. But how's the track? The track looking very, very good now.
And you would expect these guys on dry tyres now. The track is now classified as greasy. So these guys definitely on dry tyres now, mate.
However, potential for rain at the back end of the session.
Oh, God, just to spice things up. Hey, look, and we're not even halfway through the race, mind you. So, yeah, plenty of time, potential for the weather to change, mate.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, some good pit stop times there. Now, Wadsworth back in the lane this time, so he's obviously coming to correct that.
See that? So the Wadsworth Ferrari.
Nash Perkins.
That's.
Where's Ricky? Where's the Nash fan club? They should be all over this. He's currently sitting P6 chasing down Lee Perkins. So there's a trio of Ferraris because Phil Turner's up the road. Now, take a bell, Phil Turner. He is up the road. I know we've had some pit stops, but he's leading this trio by, I think, a good 5 seconds, 5.5, 5.7.
Yep, Antoon and
Antoon,
Fotido.
Fotido, yeah.
So the big boys going in now. Oh, that's actually Perkins rolling in as well, J-Man,
Yep.
as we speak. Oh, and getting it wrong too, mind you.
Who was that, Perkins?
Perkins. We might just pick up on a replay of that. So we'll just see that Ferrari rolling into the pits there. And, oh, gets it onto the pit limiter, squeezes the throttle and kicks it sideways and just nicks the wall. So that's an unfortunate little exercise, but back on track now.
Yeah,
and
32 seconds apiece for Antoon and Fotido. Be looking to see them clear the lane with no penalties. It was around about 2.4 seconds the margin between the Antoon car and the Fotido car. So we'll look to see what that looks like. Maybe 3 seconds. So maybe a slightly better in-lap for Antoon.
So Antoon out of the turn one. Fotido, the fight is on. Like you said though, J-Man, a little earlier, the pressure's on Nippers here. In the Nippers v Arrowsmith battle, isn't it?
Yeah,
these guys were very close.
Yeah, so last lap time round for Matty Nippers was 2:15.3, and Arrowsmith, by the way of a pit stop, was a 3:12.9. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, I just did notice that in the lap, Nippers was really searching for the water, so those tyres will be on fire right now. And I'd be surprised if we don't see him in this lap.
Oh, yeah. No, well, that's what I'm thinking. Look at how dry the track looks at the moment. The car looks... Look at him there. The car looking very squirrely, very squirmy on the rubber.
Here he comes. Sends it down in there. Can he get it right? Does look good. Gets it down onto the limiter. Nice
and early there too. Yeah, I saw that.
First phase of it very, very well.
Fackery and Baker. Was there a change of positions there? Let's just see if we can pick up on that.
There was, yeah. Wally Baker through on Fackery. Drive through for Louis van der Venter, so unfortunate for Louis. That'll be an on-track limits scenario, I would think, because he has already made his pit stop. Get a read on Nipper's time. Who else is in with him? Phil Turner.
Yep.
Okay, so Nippers will be looking for that 32 to match Arrowsmith. What can he do? He does a 32. So this is going to be tight between Matty Nippers and Stewie Arrowsmith.
So
here comes Arrowsmith
in the final corner.
Yep. Where is Nips? He's still on the limiter. I think Arrowsmith might have done the business here.
He's just off it now. This is going to be close. Oh, he's got it already.
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it. So, and got the tyre up to temp as well. So he's made a good margin. That was a massive undercut there. I'll get a read on that lap time, a 2:11.3. He ran the fastest lap of the race by anybody, and that's what the difference was, as well as obviously the undercut. But Stu Arrowsmith, fastest car out on track right now by some margin.
Well, look, that's why he is the current series champion, isn't it, J-Man? It's those sort of performances that count, as we just see Rusty Shackford actually sneaking past Phil Turner as well. So, plenty going on. We still have a couple of pit stops. Who is that? We've got Nash, Baker, and Fackery. Yep, still to pit. As we...
Yes, I can't wait to see the first flying lap time on a slick tyre for Antoon and Fotido. But certainly Arrowsmith's got Spencer's number at the moment, a 2:12.3, plays a 2:11.3. That's the difference between Spence and Arrowsmith. So look to that gap. Currently 3.8 seconds to 4 seconds. Look to that maybe to shrink a little bit. But Fotido, he's starting to find his feet now. The gap was 2.4 seconds. Now it's 0.6. So the Lamborghini looking good on a slick tyre in these conditions, Davo.
Yeah, look, well, he was doing pretty bloody good in the rain. And I thought that might have been, like
Oh, he's
something
sizing him up.
good for the Lamborghini. But, look, it's dried out. And the march continues forward. Frodo on the chase. And very close to the back of Antoon's car right now. It's across the start finish line.
Look for a move. I don't know if it'll be turn 1, but maybe after the roller coaster, he might look to set him up before the big back straight. A little bit much curb on the apex there for Shane. Just upset the front a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of curve.
And bite of the steering.
A little bit of curve from both of them, but yeah, a little bit more from the Lamborghini. Not managing it quite so well. But yeah, not losing a lot there, J-Man. Maybe a car length. But very close quarter racing here at the moment. Let's get over the rear wing, actually, of Antoon's car.
Yep.
And you can just see that the front of the Lamborghini actually disappearing under that massive wing on the Datsun. So Frodo on the charge, J-Man, as we tick down to half race distance.
Yeah, and look, mate, he's coming. Now we're going to get a true read on the top speed. Current predictive top speed for these two cars is 257 k an hour for Frodo and 260 k an hour for Antoon. So Datsun just got 3 k an hour advantage down the chute. So it won't be here. But look at the closing speed under brakes. Frodo looking for a wider line. A little bit wide of the apex, but didn't seem too phased by it.
No, it still got off the corner very well. It has a little bit of a shake getting off the corner under throttle there, but yeah, look, I think that's just Frodo's style, really. So I think he sets his car up like that, really. And look at it here again towards the final corner, and he's going around him. Oh, there's contact.
There's contact, and Shane's come off second best there. So the teammates having a little bit of a touch up, and who's going to capitalise? Tony Spence. And I tell you what, 2.4 seconds behind that, 2.2 seconds behind that is current series leader Stu Aerosmith. So we're only just gone past the halfway part of this race, and these boys are into it. Look how incentivised Tony Spence is.
So what happened in this Nippers there? Oh yeah, he lost to Aerosmith there. Okay. Yep. So Baker's gone into the pits.
The undercut really worked. So yeah, Baker in.
Yep.
Another Giga racer.
Okay, so that
the stop.
Yeah, that just gave me a gap between them there. I wasn't sure what was going on, but it was Baker actually rolling into the pits, out of position, car there. So very close stuff. Frodo now with back to, well, it's sort of gone back to Spence after that little touch up with Antoon, and has some catching up to do. And who's in the background? Like you mentioned, Stu Aerosmith and Matt Nippers not too far away. So hasn't that game changed for Mr. Frodo?
Yeah. For me, it's Stu Aerosmith. He's on the move. He's definitely on the move. Obviously, Spence looking to capitalise on that incident between Frodo and Antoon, but Aerosmith, since jumping onto the slick tyres, just punching the numbers. He just punched the fastest lap of the race again, a 2:08.8.
Yeah. So we do expect to see that car in third position at least, on the podium at least, wouldn't you?
I think
given his pace.
Car. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we'll go back a little bit. Phil Turner, Neville Shields. I think it's Shackelford, Turner, Shields and Perkins. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, as they all turn into this really tight left-hander onto the back straight. Very awkward. And it is 2x2 here. Shackelford trying to get away from that side draft.
And Baker with a bit of a miscue on the buttons in the pit lane. Sees him still in there at all sorts at the moment. Maybe just trying to clear that official pit stop.
As we still have...
Oh, that's going to be tight. Look at the car of Phil Turner around the outside. Says, thank you very much.
Oh, and then he runs wide. And look at it. It's literally a melee. These guys swapping positions. It looks like a 1-2 125 motorbike race.
No, you go. You go. No, you go.
A little bit of draft. Different lines everywhere.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Shieldsy in the background.
Once again, Davo, Asrnz lowers the marker again, 2:07.9. So he's just got pace. Those boys dropped into the 2:08s. Well, Stewie Asrnz was there a lap ago. So he said, no, boys, we're going to go 2:07s now. He is flying. So,
yeah.
Hence increasing the gap to nippers as well. That gap's now 7.8 seconds back. So we saw it at probably 3 odd seconds, maybe 3.5 post pit stops. Shackelford Turner, that battle's still going on.
Oh, mate, that is epic at the moment. It's Turner, actually. Turner into the braking area, one there, wriggling around on the brakes, trying to get it done on Shackelford on the inside. Oh, does a fantastic job to pull that thing up.
Yeah, 3's going to become 4 because Melling's about to join that party. And while we're watching that, Stewie Asrnz 0.7 away from Tony Spence now. Spence only 1 second away from Fodordo. So this is a podium drive here for Spence to hang on to it, Asrnz to gain it. But, you know, the confidence that Stewie Asrnz had of late, he'd be looking further up the road, I think, to Fodordo. I think he probably wants to dispatch Spence and go for Fodordo. He's got the pace. Shackelford Shields, change of position. Melling looking to jump in on this.
Yeah, so like you said, it's gone from 4 to 5 in this group now. Oh, big
down on the inside.
Brave brakes from Melling there on the outside. Shackelford's he's gonna lose the position here to Melling straight away. As soon as Melling got behind him, he's just got it done straight away. Shieldsy passed and Melling passed. Oh, and Shackelford very slippery on the exit.
Yeah. So nice presence of mind for Steve-O. Once he made that pass, he parked it right on the apex on the exit, just to cancel off any opportunity for Shackelford to grab that back. I got one eye there, and I got one eye on the Asrnz car as well, because he's on the go. Shane Fodordo responded last lap round, 2:07.7 to be the fastest car out on track now.
Oh, nice work from Shane. Playing a bit of catch up there. After a little bit of contact with Antoon, we've still got Nash and Thackeray yet to pit.
Yes, we do.
With, what do we got, about 13.5 minutes to run in race 1 here. Round 4 at Cota for the Asrnz 2025 GT3 series. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thanks for joining us. Hit the like and subscribe while you're there. Fire something into the chat box. And enjoy the ride.
Melling now with the fastest car in a straight line, 266 km an hour.
Nice. Well, he was in a bunch, in amongst all that slip there earlier. Antoon coming up on the back of Thackeray. Arrowsmith starting to range up on the back of Spence. You would expect Antoon.
Right,
yeah, so Antoon dispatches Thackeray. Thackeray would still be on a wet tyre? Is he pitted? Yes.
Hang on a sec. I'll give you a read on that. No, he's on a dry tyre.
Okay.
He's on a dry tyre.
So, had Thackeray pitted?
I'll give you a read on that.
Oh, as we got Antoon. Oh, sorry. That was Arrowsmith just forcing.
So that's
Spence
why Thackeray was going backwards at the start, Davo, is because he was actually on
a dry tyre. Yeah, and that's why he's been able to stay out so long.
Yep.
So, Antoon caught up and passed. Arrowsmith just forcing, just getting in the mirror of Spence there, and Spence just running wide.
Yep.
And into the final corner. And look at the body language of the Falcon BMW now, and you can see the intent from Asrnz. That thing is so hooked up, really working off the back tyres there. A lot of attitude in the car. Oh, a bit slippery out of that one, but working hard. Thackeray now in the pits, J-Man.
Yeah, very much. So what can Stu Arrowsmith do? It is, what, the better part of 3 seconds up the road to Whātaro, but look at this down here. Shields, Melling. Shackelford has fallen back off that a little bit. Who's that? That's Thackeray rejoining. But Shields, Melling, that's a good battle. And also Phil Turner in there as well. So this is how far up the road? No, okay, so Perkins not too far up the road as well. So there's a potential top 10 on for either Perkins, Turner, Shields or Melling. That'll be a notable title hunt that they want. And Tony Spence still going with Arrowsmith. However, I feel like Arrowsmith's car is just a little better at the back end of the lap. We saw it earlier on, I think, with Whātaro and Toon. Whātaro's car, very, very good in sector 1 and 2, but Antoon's car are really, really good at the back part of the lap. So maybe a little bit of a status quo for Arrowsmith Spence. Nev Shields, Full Turner, that's going on. Pass under brakes, down the big back straight. Tucks it in there. Turner will look to get a cutback. Can he do it? Rides up on side him, look for another cutback.
It's a tricky little double right-hander here, and it's slippery. Trying to get the power back down to the ground, and this double left-hander here, again, it's very technical. The back sector of this circuit.
What a great story too, Phil Turner racing in the number 8 Ferrari. Multi-time AM champ, you know, basically started his online PC racing career with us, and we've seen him grow, and look at him now. You know, he's up there battling with Shieldsy, Steve Melling, last season's Pro-Am title successor.
Champ, yep.
Yep, so he's, you know, he's doing so well these days. Is Phil Turner. He's just stuck with it, you know, the highs and lows of sim racing. But I tell you what, he's doing bloody awesome at the moment. Tony Spence still pressuring Arrowsmith too, Davo. Phil Turner, Nev Shields. So that is the battle.
So definitely one to watch. Phil Turner and Nev Shields working for their money here tonight, J-Man. Mixed conditions, always, as we just see Turner just getting rid of one of the cones there off the apex there as it flicks over the top of the Mustang of Steve Melling, and just adjusting the apexes accordingly towards the end of the race here. A little over 8.5 minutes to go, as we also see Spence hanging on the back of Arrowsmith there too, J-Man.
Yeah, and look, it's compounding too, because Nippers was 7.2 odd seconds further back. That's now 4.5 seconds. So I think potentially just this little battle going on is helping Nippers. And Whātaro's not too far in front, as we do see Timmy Nash finally make his official pit stop. So he'll be looking for a nice, efficient 32-second stop here. And
my observation is that it looks like Arrowsmith might be overdriving the car a little bit.
Could be, yep.
It just looks a little agitated. I did mention it just after he got past Spence. It looks like the car looks like it's hooked up when it's right, but it's just, it looks agitated. Looks like
it's a fine line, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, being very aggressive, trying to chase that gap between himself and the car in front, that being Shane Whātaro. Arrowsmith currently sitting in a podium position, so would I think, but look at this time of the race, with a little over 7 minutes to go, he would probably be rethinking the attack mode, wouldn't he, and just saying, well look, I've just got to settle down here, make sure Spence stays behind me, I've got to bring this thing home on the podium.
Yeah, it's a tough one, mate, because some guys probably do a better job if their eyes forward and keep pressing, because if he starts, oh, it's a big dive here. Stewie reads it very, very well.
Gave him the space. Gave him the space.
That's a massive dive from Spence there. I think if Stewie didn't open the steering up, that had disastrous consequences. And I'll tell you what it does do, once again, it invites Matty Nipris back a little bit closer to that,
to that battle
with 6.5 minutes to go. There's still time
So,
and I think Stewie's rattled now. He'll be watching the mirrors indeed after a move like that. Melling starting to close the gap also on Phil Turner. Those guys just got shuffled down a little bit because Timmy Nash, he did come back out there, and he is in 9th. So that was a good strategy there from Nash.
That's not too bad from Nash there. Still in the top 10, so good work from him. Perkins, after a bit of a tangle up in T1, lap 1, actually back in the top 10 as well, J-Man. So good work from Perko.
Yeah, it's a solid drive. Look, Stuart Arrowsmith now covered really, really early into turn 1, and it's going to leave him a little compromised down through the roller coaster because he's a little bit shallow for the entry here. And as we speak now, Matty Nipris, 2.6 seconds. That was a 7.2 second margin. It's now 2.6. So he'll be just wanting Spence and Arrowsmith to keep doing this and maybe sneak a podium here, Matty Nipris.
Oh, of course.
Not out of the question.
As we look over the back of the Arrowsmith BMW there, with Spence clearly in view, but the car in the background, that is the Matt Nipris Nissan Skyline, and he is coming. He's coming for these guys. A little over 5 minutes to go. Only a few laps to run here. Oh, as Arrowsmith again works really hard onto the back.
So this is where Spence dove last time around. He had a big dive down here. Arrowsmith had to open up the steering. What's the difference in terminal speed between these cars? Arrowsmith 264, Spence 263. There's nothing in it.
So no big dive from Spence this time. Possibly Spence is now, can see Nipris ever so close now. Maybe even his mindset's changed, but it doesn't look like it. He still looks like he's in full attack mode.
Well, Nipris has got the fastest lap of the race, mate, on a 207.1.
Okay.
So that car is proper quick. 207.2 was the last lap round. Did have a track cut in it. However, it did come out as a 207.2. Fododo is actually crushing the margin a little to Antoon late in the piece there with just over 4 minutes to go. He's got that down to 2.2 seconds, so that's not done either. Let's hope everybody's got the correct fuel as Wadsworth really starts to apply the blowtorch to the back of the holy roller. Jesus. Is Rusty Shackelford under pressure here from Wadsworth? Wadsworth getting a great run through the apex.
Good run.
And a great view for Eddie Thackeray there just to see that opposing line. 1.6 seconds the difference now, Spence Nipris. I just can't help but think we're going to get to probably 2 laps to go, and he's going to be right on these boys. That's Wadsworth. A little bit much curb. Is that going to give Rusty Shackelford another look back?
Steve Melling on Turner, J-Man.
Yeah, it's been a work on the Valvoline car. Steve Melling's just been consistently working, and we talked about this, I think, round 2 or 3. I think we talked about these guys being engaged in a battle already multiple times this season, and we see it once again. Stevens had some great battles with Damien Jones. However, Jonesy Sharks is a little bit further up the road tonight. He's up there in P8, so he's doing a good job, and also good showing here for Jordan Moss. He had a round to forget last time out. Often questioned whether he was doing corporate rides the amount of times he comes into pit.
A couple of tough rounds for Geordie, but always chin up and eyes forward. And yeah, paddling the Merc well tonight, J-Man. How many positions has he gained over the race so far with only 2.5 minutes to go? He's done pretty well.
5 positions up. Damien Jones 9 positions up. And
wow.
Also Timmy Nash 7 positions up. So that's a good effort.
Nice work. Spence still hounding the back of Arrowsmith. Steve Melling on Turner. J-Man continues.
Yeah,
and
also
Shackelford Thackeray.
Yeah, and also Fododo now 1.3 seconds the margin. He's looking right at the part number on the rear. Spoiler. Oh, this may well be close to the final lap.
I think this one. Oh, well, when did Antoon go over? Jeez, it's going to be close.
It was very, very tight. was very, very tight. I think this could be it. So this might be the one as Spence mounts one last attack on Aerosmith.
And it is a genuine attack too. Spence very close now. He knows time is ticking down. The rain is going to roll in any second too, J-Man.
Yep.
So they want to get this done and dusted.
0.8 now the gap, Fotado to Antoon. It's closing. It's closing fast. Look at this. He's right on and blows the apex. Gets over excited. Coming into the left-hander.
Is Antoon in fuel trouble? Surely not.
He's flat chat on the gas, mate. I can tell you. The throttle trace is 100% down.
Steve Melling into T1. Really making life difficult for Phil Turner. The Mustang ever so present in the rear view. Melling really showing some really good set of hills here.
Yeah, and I think this is it, mate. I think this will be the one. Looking at that, there's only 18 seconds to go. I don't think they're going to get across the line for one more. So I think Antoon's going to hang on. However, there's a big question mark over Stewie Aerosmith. Can he hang on through these final phase of the corners over Tony Spence and Nipris not too far behind? But here we go. 1-0 clock.
There it is. There it is.
Final turn. Shane is right there. It's as close as you like. Formation finish for the Giga races for race one. Well done, Phil Antoon over Shane Fotado. Stewie Aerosmith holds on, coming out of the final corner over Tony Spence, and then Nipper's right in there as well. So that'll be your top five. And then a pretty quiet race for Sam Carson and Jordan Moss there in 6th and 7th as they come through the final sector. But they'll be pleased with that. Cars look nice and tight. They don't look like they've got any panel damage at all on them.
Not at all.
And then Damien Jones has got Tim Nash all over him. It's not done. Can Nash get one more spot? He's up the inside. Holds the car tight on.
This is
close. Apex tries to size him up. Can he poke it down the inside for the final left-hander? The finish line is only just there. Only going to be a day late and $1 short.
And the finish line compared to the start line here is very close to the final corner there. So there it is. It's all done and dusted.
And Perkins rounds out the 10.
Shieldsy
with a good job. Turner holding off Steve Melling here. Only just.
What a great battle with those two boys. Wadsworth in 14th and Thackeray currently in 15th. Wadsworth around the final corner to take 14th. Thackeray right behind him there, J-Man. Shackelford, Simpson, Baker, Grimmer, rounding out the field there for what was race 1, round 4 in Asrnz's 2025 GT3 series. Round 4, ladies and gentlemen, round 4. Wow.
Round 5, mate. Round 5, Cota.
Round 5, should I say. You love the rain. Always throws a spanner in the works, J-Man. And what a cracking race. Battles all the way throughout the field. We need a drink. We will be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like and subscribe, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from what was a very short break as J-Man and myself just run away and fill the babies ready for race 2 here at Circuit of the Americas. Round 5, Asrnz 2025 GT3 series, like I mentioned, MATCHFIT Entertainment on board, which means you get J-Man and myself, and Race Command, as always, steering the wheel, Server, and technically J-Man. What a cracking first race.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I just think the changing conditions, we were just talking off air, perfect conditions for a later.
Oh yes, we were
probably less than ideal for a sim racer, but hey, look, just
too true.
You can sign those up every week. And,
for us, yeah.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, we don't want to hear about your problems. We're just going to pick on our successes. So
yeah,
we love the
we do. It gives us so much to talk about and watch throughout the evening. And again, look, we see it here now. Look, the boys are out for Q2. I think the camera's on Young Thackeray, and rain once again. With that, look, very variable conditions here at Cota tonight. So the boys on their toes, aren't they? Tyre choice wise.
Yeah, look, I think they are, but it's greasy out there, so you'd expect to see the cars out there on dry tyres, and that's the read that I'm getting. The telemetry can a little unpredictable at times. I didn't realise. Eddie Thackeray went out on a slick tyre for the start of that one, and it actually played pretty reasonable for him in the end. He stayed out long.
Stayed in the top 10.
Came out, grabbed another one. It was pretty good for him. Now, Phil Turner is the first car. He came off of a really good race one. Good battle there with Steve Malling the whole way through. So, great stuff for those guys. But look, he's out there on a dry tyre. And just looking at the weather widget, the rain is due to decrease. So, potential for the track to maybe even head towards damp inside the next 7 minutes could be an option there. So maybe the better conditions for the last runners. Yeah,
so we might see a bit of an improvement there, like J-Man's just mentioned. So yeah, look, the AM and the Pro-Am boys probably getting the raw end of the prawn there in this qualifying.
Guys, do better.
But well, it is what it is. It is what it is. But look, we expect to see the same battles. J-Man just rattled a couple of Phil Turner and Steve Belling going at it for a big part of that race. And look, I really do expect to see those boys clashing once again for race 2 here. So good fun, and also, like we mentioned, it is great for us. It gives us so much to talk about. The boys will be fighting with tyre choice and pressures, but we'll just be whooping it up because there is so much going on, and it's good for you guys too to sit back and watch it. So yes, good for everybody.
G'day Greenie, good to have you tuning in. No, you shouldn't be on the intermission screen, mate. Maybe click a refresh, because I'm seeing it live broadcast. I've got eyes on Phil Turner at the moment out there, so maybe give your YouTube a little bit of a refresh or something, buddy. But we are live through this qualifying session, and about to get some times too, I might add. So going to pick up on that, I think by my calculation, it should be the number 8 car, the Phil Turner car should be the first car that we see come across the line, and he's heading towards the back end of the lap now. Maybe there is a car in front of him, the 68 car.
I think there is a car in front of him, yeah.
Or did Kenny Simpson get out a little bit late?
Oh no, Simpson's behind. Who'd you say, Phil Turner?
Yeah, no, Kenny Simpson might be the first car out there, actually.
Oh, so, it might be, actually. He's just rounding...
Not something we used to see Kenny Simpson out there.
No. So, yeah, look, had a bit of a hiccup at the beginning of the race there.
The drive through it may be in proximity.
Yep. So clearly the first car out on track. He is not mucking around this time.
Okay, so that was an outlet for Kenny. So he's actually, Phil Turner goes across on a 2:13.2. eclipsed by Nev Shields on a 2:11.2. The times will start flying on here pretty quickly. Now remember, it was a lot wetter in Q1. The guys were upwards of 222s, 223s in the Pro-Am and Am class. Already they're in the 211s, 213s. I'll be interested to see what Steve Melling delivers in comparison to Phil Turner, who he battled intensely with in race 1.
So Melling,
he's only got 2 turns to go.
Yeah, a couple of turns to go for Melling there, J-Man. Who was that? It just snuck up to the top. Nev Shields, J-Man.
Rusty Shackelford. Shieldsy was up there. Shackelford just posted on 11.9 to go P2, yeah. So Melling posted at 12.1 as well. So he just pips Turner there, and he pips him by a good margin.
So Jones yet to put a lap together. A little frustrating for him. He's probably got another couple of shots at it.
Well, he's got maybe one shot at it after this one. He is... Oh, no, he might be close, actually, with this one.
He might be close, yeah.
On the first one, no classification, or he got out late. We saw him go early, and then he escaped out. I wonder what was going on. Potentially, I think, I wondered whether it was that Greenie, a little bit of a pause button moment. We all do it from time to time. However, you got us live now, mate, so that's all that matters. But yeah, I wonder whether Jones maybe had gone out on the wrong tyre.
Yes.
And then came back and then was a little bit low at the block. So
quite possibly.
Shields, though, he's on a number that's going to see him go well into the tens, maybe even the 9s. So it'll be pretty cool. I mean, we saw times as quick as what, 207?
Oh yeah, 2.7s for these boys.
207s. No, outright in the previous race.
Hey, so Simpson just sneaking in.
Oh yeah, 11.5.
Oh well, just momentarily.
9.6 for Shields. Great lap.
So
great lap.
The laps coming in thick and fast here.
Here's Damien Jones. He's coming around the lap as well. Also, Steve Melling coming around the lap with a 1.5 second improvement.
So Jones we really need to see what Jones can do here. Yet to put a time in. Either has Nash or Wadsworth. So those boys there really need to get a lap in. Here we go.
Goes to the top on a 9.480.
Wow.
Melling, what's Melling got? Here he comes. Melling goes P4. Turner's still on a lap though. He must have got one across. He did get one across. Simpson's done.
So it's just Wadsworth.
Melling's done. Pros and Silvers all out on track now.
Yep. So we can see Wadsworth there. That is the Aerosmith car tucked in behind him. Perkins out. Baker out. Moss is out there.
Nipper's only just leaving the lane, so a little bit slow at the lane. Conditions-wise, good to read on these conditions. The track is now green. So it went from damp, or greasy, sorry, to...
the
track is now fast.
It's fast.
It just flipped over to fast. So,
wow. So ever-changing conditions, and that's what we love, J-Man.
Yeah. So did Damien Jones, by going late, did he
benefited from that?
And is this Nippers' play? Nippers is the last car out.
Again, looking for that driest possible track.
And so is he just going for, to be the last car running and got his timing right that he's going to get the best possible track conditions late in the piece? This could be a good strategy play.
Hey,
watch this with intent.
Mate, you mentioned it really early in the broadcast here. It's the propeller heads, the guys that really think about this stuff. That, is that a bit of a play? Just leave it that extra, 20, 30, 40 seconds, just to make them the last car on track and still get a good lap in. And, the conditions can change. Track conditions change. Ambient temperatures change. So, very, very clever stuff from some of these boys. Whatever helps, I think, is a good thing. So all the pros and silver class drivers now out on track. Did you see who the first car on track was?
Wadsworth, Ferrari.
It was Wadsworth, was it?
Yeah, followed by Stuart Aerosmith. So
Yep,
Stewie got out second. So those guys opting to go early. So I guess the flip side of the coin for that, as opposed to somebody like Matty Nipris who went late, is the potential for the Aerosmith and Wadsworth car to get across and get that extra
get
lap
another lap. That's right.
And then they get the optimal conditions because they get one more
with lower fuel.
Condition.
It's two, mind you.
Yep. Slightly degraded tyre, but look, these are an endurance tyre. They don't have effectively a qualifying soft option. So, you know, look, the tyre's not really that much of an issue in qualifying. You know, I think it's negligible as far as the fall off inside, say, 3 laps. So,
and particularly in such a short qualifying session as we have here in the Asrnz 2025 GT3 series at present. J-Man wants to watch, as usual, the usual suspects: Antoon, Fotado, Aerosmith, Nipris, as well. Tony Spence in that mix. Mid-packers. Who have we got?
8.4 for Nev Shields was his last lap. It's such a good lap.
Wow. Hey?
2:08.4. So he got across the line to pit Thackeray and Jones late in the piece.
Wow.
We missed it. We were focused on the last of their laps within the pros coming out, and he's done an absolute stellar job to go on 8.4. And I tell you what, that is a big lap. So that is
nice work, Shields.
On that track going too fast, I think. So,
yep.
We're about to get a read on Wadsworth 2:07.5. It'll be quickly followed by Antoon and Aerosmith. Aerosmith 2:07.3. Antoon 2:06.3. Where is Fotado? 2:06.7.
Fotado, you got there. So bam. They all start to roll through. Antoon, Fotado, Aerosmith, and Wadsworth. First, second, third, fourth, respectively and provisionally, mind you. Wow. Baker in 7th. Mossy in 5th.
Yeah, good showing tonight for Mossy. He's got that Mercedes hooked up here. Baker, 7th, as you mentioned. That's a good lap. Who else we got? What's Carson got? Carson's had a good turn of speed here. Okay, so an unclassified lap.
Yep, and we also got
first one.
Nipris as well, just rolling around.
So this is him running really, really late. So his first one's going to be an absolute.
It is. Here we go.
Goes P3 on a 7.2.
And Spence is the last one, I think, there, Joe.
Yeah. He had a very, very quick car at the back end of race 1 too. So look for a good lap here. He comes down.
So he's late on the board too. So he's still on his outlap here. Or he's still on his first flyer here. So very late to the party.
So who can do better than a 6.3 on predictive numbers? Antoon can go maybe a low 6, gets the back sector right, and he might go a 5. But at the moment, he's looking like somewhere around a 6.0 or a 6.1.
Well, he's already on a low 6, isn't he? He's doing a 6.38. I mean, my God. So, Fotado, just looking at his delta, just struggling to keep his up with his own best lap time at the moment.
Antoon nailed the final sector. He's going to go well in the 5.
Oh, half a second. Easy. Bam.
5.9.45. Good work.
Fotado improving towards the end of his lap there. Just sneaking across with an improvement as well.
Aerosmith.
Spence.
To the P3 with a 6.7. That's a good lap.
Wadsworth in 5th, Nipris in 6th, Geordie Moss in 7th. The board changing quickly here. Pushes Shields back into 8th and Baker back down to 9th. Thackeray rounding at the top 10 provisionally at the moment, but that changes again.
Yeah, and Nips is on a number that's going to threaten Wadsworth, Aerosmith and Spence, I believe. Or maybe not Spence, but certainly Wadsworth and Aerosmith.
So over half a second up.
And Baker on a good lap too. So Baker's looking for an improve here. He's on an 8.7. Needs
which
to
will
go better than an 8.4.
That'll do Shields for him if he can get it done. So nice showing from Wally Baker.
So I think there's going to be a bit of a trade-off here. I think Spence may have an answer. Matty Nipris. Nipris has pulled the pin, obviously going late's given him no more option, but Spence managed to get across the line and carry on for a lap.
Just watch Aerosmith's time here on Spence as well. Spence, they're both up on their delta. Spence with a little bit of improvement on his lap, but Aerosmith considerably more than that, which might just, maybe just sneak him that position.
Could do.
But close stuff. Antoon down on his delta. Florido up. Fraction. Oh, just marginally. Is it enough? Maybe. And climbing. So quite possibly.
Yeah, here comes
What's Shane Florido here, J-Man?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be tight.
Very healthy delta at the moment. Can he pull that thing up?
I think he's going to be just shy.
I just bled a little bit of speed off right at the end there. Florido's blown his lap. Spence.
They're all done. They're all done. Aerosmith. Oh, Nippers. Okay, so Aerosmith manages to get Nippers once again. So that is
wow.
So usual suspects again. So you're looking at the finishing positions there. Antoon, Florido, Aerosmith. That was the podium from race 1. The only difference in the top 5 is the difference between Nippers and Spence swapped around. That was
pretty well. Yep.
Yeah, Spence was trailing Aerosmith at the back end of race 1, and then Nippers was in 5th. So good showing from the top 5, just to show that looking to do more of the same again in race 2. But Wadsworth with a great qualifying over Carson Moss. Shields. Now the lap of Shields, an 8.4, was a very, very good lap. Baker in there with a good lap as well on an 8.7, and then we dropped back into the 9s, Thackeray, Perkins, Jones, Turner, Shackelford, Malling, Simpson, Grimmer, Nash. So that sees 19. Lost a couple out of this field for race 2.
We did. Yeah, just a couple there, J-Man. Webley being one of them. Obviously had some technical issues in race 1. Out of the field now at the moment, as we see Mr. Perkins across the line for an unclassified lap, I think, as well. Or was it? No, it wasn't. No, actually, there you go.
Put him up to P8, so it was a good late charge.
Very nice, very nice.
So 0.2 of a second holds the margin for another pole position for Phil Antoon over Shane Florido. So super, super tight. And we'll get a read on the weather conditions for the start of...
So I think it's Vandeventer that we might have lost.
Yep. Okay, so looks like we're going to start out on a fast track, but rain not too far in the distance. So how do they play it? I think probably you'd go out on the dry tyre and you'd run it for as long as you could until that track condition goes worse than, I guess, damp. I suppose that, they'll want to stay on that slick tyre all the way up to a wet track.
Oh, absolutely. And then how much does it rain? And this is where they'll want to try and stay out there and see how wet the track gets, isn't it, before they even start to contemplate whether it needs a wet tyre or not.
Yeah. Just a big shout out to a bit of a plug here for the guys, specifically Jordan Moss and the inner workings of the team himself at Race Command, and that set these servers up in these conditions. Because from our perspective, for you to the viewers and for the broadcast, I mean, this is picture perfect variable conditions for us. I mean, maybe not less than ideal for the drivers, but for us, for what we do, this is a very, very hard scenario to script from a server setting standpoint, in my opinion. And I think he's done a fantastic job of it, and just makes for great TV.
It does.
So well done, Race Command and Jordan Moss.
Definitely, yes. big kudos to Race Command dealing. It's keeping all Asrnz servers in tip-top nick and making this all happening. And obviously, their sign-up software as well. Amazing stuff. So, plenty of details. Get on board with Asrnz and sign up through Race Command for the 2025 GT3 season. And if you want to leave it a couple of weeks and sign up for the second one, do that, or sign up for both. Who knows? There's plenty of racing going on at Asrnz over 2025 10th year anniversary too, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, for Asrnz. So celebrations all through the year. This is just the start. Kicking off with the regular stuff with the GT3, short GT3 series here, and we are in round 5, race 2, qualifying just finished, boys, sizing up on the grid as we speak. Let's get some vision, ladies and gentlemen, as the lights are about to go green on the formation lap. And again, we see the likes of Phil Antoon and Shane Frodo on the first row, and Stuart Smith and Nicholas, you just see taken off there in the Nissan. 19 cars on track for race 2. Lost a couple in battle there in race 1. I think Webley's Mustang got beaten into submission. It's out for the night. Louis Van der Venter, I don't think he handles it. He doesn't like wet feet. So I think he sort of ran away to try and find some little booties or something. But anyway, we are still here. And we are still at Circuit of the Americas. And it is clear. It is clear. We're on a green track. Is there any rain to... Oh, there is a little bit of rain spitting, J-Man. We got a green track, and the rain is spitting down already.
Oh, so that'll have them thinking.
That will have them thinking.
They'll be right for a little bit. I'm not sure how long. It's a 40-minute race. And we may only see some of these drivers opt to stay out there like that for around 10 or 15 minutes. So...
yeah.
Look, it is coming in, and you can see the plus sign on the widget.
And we don't have much more information than you guys, actually, the viewers, can see on that little graphic on the top right-hand corner of the screen there. I know most of you are familiar with it, but you can see the little weather graphic there on the top right-hand side of your screen there. It says it's a green track. You can see the rain coming in, and look, that's pretty much all the boys have got too, isn't it, J-Man?
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for what is at hand and under their asses pretty well, and how well their cars are doing or not in the conditions. So you look, always thinking on the fly, no doubt. 19 cars for race 2 here, round 5, Circuit of the Americas. And again, it is raining. Variable conditions again for race 2. As a field on the formation lap.
Now this could throw a real curveball on certain cars just performing slightly better. You know, the guys would have been in the pit lane late in the piece before they got dropped to grid. There'll be drivers out there with full wet setups. There'll be drivers out there with full dry setups. And then there will be the, like I said, the propeller heads, the tech heads that'll have something somewhere in the middle, something that works maybe at about 80% either way. And it'll be just bolter tyre on it. So obviously a lot more supple in the suspension, maybe some slight changes with brake balance and ducting size and stuff to generate temps.
Yeah, and it's little details like that, isn't it, that can really count, can't they?
Yeah, hey, look, there's a lot of smart operators now. You know, a lot of these guys been around a long time. You just mentioned, you know, Asrnz itself is 10 years. Obviously, it was 10 years old around the 24th of February. And look, this guy's been around a lot longer than that. You and I both. So there's a lot of experience out there.
Hey. Yeah, I get it. I know.
Oh, Fotto just really not getting the apex to that last line sorted, but they don't get the green flag till they head up to this other secondary start-finish line, so they'll get themselves well organised here.
Yeah, another 100 metres up the road. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, but we are about to go green on Asrnz's 2025 GT3 Series Round 5 here at Circuit of the Americas. This is race 2. Good jump from everybody, actually. Nipper's really wide there, looking for that outside line, making sure he's well away from that BMW. How's the rest of the field navigating that?
With him and Stewie. Oh, and Spence and Wadsworth go together. And I think it might have been... So that might have been those two again.
Very, very tidy, though. Just, look, everybody pointing in the right direction, Jamie.
Well, everybody but I think maybe it was Spence has gone to the back
Spence went
of the
round.
pack.
Yep.
Yeah. A little bit of feeling there. But, yeah, these next, I'm going to say 4 laps are going to be super interesting to see what Fotto can do in these changeable conditions. But Stu Arrowsmith finds himself just ahead of his championship combatant and Matty Nipris, and then Sam Carson, Lee Perkins. Lee Perkins just missing the brake mark down into that left-hander. It's going to leave him vulnerable to Jacob Wadsworth. But he gets a good drive off of there, actually. It was a little bit wide on entry, but it really gave the car some good drive traction. And he's going to put pressure on Sam Carson.
So, yes, exciting first lap. Yeah, little, ever so slightest touch up there for Spency in the background. J-Man, we just picked up on a replay of it. We don't give you too many first lap replays, guys. It's there it was. So plenty going on. Nipris on Arrowsmith. You can see there. Cameras focused on Perkins at the moment. That's Carso tucked in behind Wadsworth, Shields, Geordie Moss, and Damien Jones rounding out the top 10 there. Relatively clean start. Very difficult circuit in trying conditions again, or variable conditions we'll call it. But yeah, greasy track for the boys, and no doubt out on the dry tyre, J-Man, yes, as we were just discussing.
Spence doing a good job here. Good recovery after going to the back of the pack into turn 1.
Back to 16th already.
Back to 16th and starting to put some pressure on Steve Melling. And I think the next 4 or 5 cars he's going to dispatch pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly. I think you would see him up around Shackelford, quick smart, maybe at the end of the next lap. So, and look, and this is the time to get it done, isn't it? Lap 1, when the field's very bunched still, and you can really stay in touch with the leaders, really, can't you? So that's Nash. That's Nash. That's just lost a position of Melling. So those guys, and so that's put Nash in between Melling and Spence. So just one more car to think about. Nash running a little wide. Spence having a look. Looking for the switchback here. Nash gathering it up. So that's on. Spence will want to get a wriggle along here, won't he? Won't want to be held up too much.
Who's that? Damien Jones with a big look down the inside of Jordan Moss.
Oh, it's made him a little bit slow out of the left-hander onto the back straight, but has...
Nippers with a good run this time. Goes to the inside early on Arrowsmith. Arrowsmith doesn't even look to cover it. Just going to let it happen. Maybe look to cut down underneath him. Yeah, Nippers does a good job on the apex.
And it's just nowhere to go, though, into the next series of corners, though, J-Man, the double right and the double left. If you let him go, he's got to, at least for the last sector, hasn't he? You know, like it's done and dusted for the rest of the lap. So
well, yeah, until they get up to here, when they get through these triple apex right-handers here, if the car ends up a little wide, you can sneak up the inside. You can just see Nippers incredibly
very sideways, and just so smoothly dealing with it there.
Yep.
Flicks in. Oh, very wide that time.
It's going to hurt, although it's probably the option where you can get away with it.
Oh, Arrowsmith sneaks up the inside.
Yeah, I think Arrowsmith will get this done here.
I think Nippers, clearly out of respect, stayed out off the line there. It clearly made the mistake. We will actually try and pick up on a replay of this, but the battle continues, so we'll just stick with it for a moment here.
Yep.
And look at the boys behind him. That is Perkins and Carso. Perkins right in the fight this time round in race 2. We might just stick with this, actually.
Yeah, might pay just to stay there because it's not finished.
It is definitely not finished. What else isn't finished here? There's a couple of things. Damien Jones and
Moss
and Mossy there with Brackery and Shackelford in the background. Oh, again, Jones have showed such good pace over the last couple of weeks. Some really close quarter racing. Last week, him and Steve Melling at Watkins was next level. It was some of the best racing I've watched for a long time. So big kudos to those boys.
Yeah, so I sold an incorrect sale there, mate. I said that Spence would get to Nash and Melling and dispatch the next 4, and I'll tell you what, he's got there, and he can't do anything with it because Nash and Melling are driving really straight.
So well, yep.
Beautifully, but Carson looking for a move on Perkins now. Pulls out, tucks back in.
And Perkins again with some genuine pace, sticking with Nippers and Asrnz. Nippers and Asrnz got their own fight on, so they're probably holding each other up a little bit here. Early stages of the race here, this second lap, ladies and gentlemen. And it is on. Look at what's going on in the background. Carson, Wadsworth, Shields. Go further back, we got Moss, Jones, and Thackeray in the background there.
Yeah,
not
Nash,
too far behind.
Turner's a great battle as well. That is super intense, and it's just allowed Phil Turner just to step out a little bit.
So yes, a little bit of a breath of fresh air for Turner. Like,
well, who we got? We got Jordan Moss and Stewie Arrowsmith decided to get off this tyre early, and it's greasy, so that's interesting. So they might not felt the most comfortable on that tyre or looking to
just get out of the battle. Yeah.
Option wet tyre early. They can see there's more rain coming.
Oh, interesting choice though, J-Man.
Win as well.
Look at this fight. I know, guys, we're only a couple of laps in. Quite often we see the field spread relatively quickly as these boys try and find their space on the track, but very close contact fighting at the moment here. Shields, Jones, Thackeray, Carson, Shackelford, all very close together here.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll watch with interest now Matty Nipras's time. So last lap round for him was a 2:15.0, and so if that time keeps getting further and further away, and then we'll get a read on Stewie Arrowsmith's first flyer once he comes out to see what he can do. He's already off the lane. Try and get a read on what Stewie's pit stop time was. He did a beautiful stop, a 32. All of them, actually, apart from Wally Baker, who had a 37, but Spence 32, Moss 32, Arrowsmith 32. So very good stops. Get out there and put that wet tyre to work. It'll be interesting to see what the pace is like. Carson, Thackeray, change of spots there, and it's still not done.
No, it's definitely not done.
Oh, Carson looking to live all the way around the outside and then have rights to the next left-hander, and he does. Good battle.
So forced the issue there, and did it well. That is a difficult move, J-Man. Tricky little track to make it live out there.
And Toon, Fodado, both shot into the lane late.
Yeah, Nash on Melling as well, just in the background there, J-Man.
Shields, Jones had to come together, and he's parked in a really horrible spot on the track as Shields. Ooh. I'd probably poke it down pit lane, change the tyres and my undies.
So Shieldsy having a big look at Jones there.
Look at the action in pit lane. It's just absolutely frantic. There's probably half the field just about in the lane.
It's time to go in. Track is now damp, J-Man, and it is very busy down there. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, it's a little unfortunate tangle up there with Shieldsy and Damien Jones. And Damien Jones stayed out, actually, after that. Nippers now currently leading the race. Damien Jones in second, Phil Turner, Timmy Nash, Lee Perkins, Kenny Simpson rounding out the top 6.
Look at Faraday Antoon. Faraday made margin on Antoon on the way in. So we just watching. Hopefully there's no penalties
quite a few car legs actually too, mind you.
He did.
So let's get over the rear wing of Antoon's car as he hits it. And we got so there's no penalties for Faraday or Antoon. So good gain for Faraday.
Okay, so he's just dropped into turn 1. So effectively, once the pit stop shake out, at this point he's still effectively third. Won't get a read on his lap time. Aerosmith just that last one was recorded with the pit stop, so it was a 3:14.
He's not far behind these boys. You can see him in back a shot here clearly. Every now and then the Falcon BMW.
Matty Nipris, his last lap time was a 15.6, so he's still close to his best. His best is a 2:15.0. Last lap was a 15.6. Be interested to see what he does here as he rounds the final sector. Does he come in and take the option tyre? The car looks to be sliding around all sorts. Has he left it a lap too late? Because he is literally speedway drifting that Datsun.
Oh, look, it was speedway drifting a lap and a half ago. So
he's staying out. He's staying out.
He is staying
drift spec right now.
Okay, well, we saw Aerosmith sneak past him there a lap or two ago.
2:17.6.
We are a little over the quarter of the way through the race. Damien Jones into the pits. Timmy Nash in the pits as well, J-Man.
Yep. So 18.6 was Antoon's last lap on a dry tyre. He has got a whole lot of Shane Foladoe to contend with at the moment.
And Shane super hot on the pace towards the end of race 1. I expect nothing different again for race 2.
Yes, there's a little bit of contact in that earlier race with himself and I think it was
Spence.
So yeah, take that away and it might have been a lot tighter because he had some work to do. But Kenny Simpson now, he's in the lane with Nash. Also Jones.
Still in the lane. Jones must be out already. Let me have a look. He's just rolling out now, J-Man. Yep. Joe Grimmer also in the pit lane. So a little bit of a flurry of pit stops there. We're about a little over a quarter of the way through the race. So yeah, changes already. So these guys will have about, these guys are going to have about 25 odd minutes. A little bit more.
3.5 seconds was the difference between the last laps between Nipris and Aerosmith. So to my calculation, staying out that extra lap previously has cost Nippers 3.5 seconds, and he stayed out again.
Do you think that he suffered from that in race 1 as well?
Yeah, I think potentially. So I'll be interested to see what he does now because he can't get a read on his delta. But if he runs, so last lap round was a 17.6 to Stewie's 14.7. Oh, and he's still just speedwaying that Datsun everywhere. I think he needs to get off that tyre and minimise the damage. However, he's staying out, he's sticking with it. So let's get a read on the time. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.6. They lost another second in that lap.
Oh, look at that! It will hurt him with the pace of these.
It's bleeding time to the guys on a wet tyre.
Yep.
Antoon, what can he deliver now? We'll get a read on Faraday. Antoon's flying lap, given that we've just called Aerosmith doing 2:14s. I'd be interested to see what Antoon Faraday can do because there's around 5 seconds on track between P4 and 5 and 6, which will effectively be P1, 2, 3. So here we go. Antoon about to cross the line with Faraday. We're looking for somewhere around 13s or 14s. 14.0, 13.8 respectively. That's Antoon Faraday. So Faraday slightly quicker. and Asrnz crosses with a 15.0, so he's just a little bit off the pace there compared to those two. Who's that? Sam Carson managing to crack 14.5s, 2:14.5, so he's quicker than Asrnz. He's got Spence just up in front of him.
Yeah, he's chasing Spence, and we saw Carso.
So that's a good recovery from Spence.
And yeah, Carso showed some really good pace tonight, J-Man.
Oh, here comes Perkins on Turner. Got a ton of speed, pulls out the draft. Looks for the shallow line. Phil knew he was there. He was kind of wide of the apex, but...
Couple of Ferraris going at it.
Wadsworth, heaps of pressure on Jordan Moss right now. Looking for a way through.
Now, this has been going on for a couple of laps, J-Man. Cameras were on this a little bit earlier.
Oh, nice apex, but maybe a little bit much curve.
Oh, look.
But he tried to square him up. Then you can see in the back of shot there, that is Tony Spence with Sam Carson. And look at that, that's Damien Jones.
And look at those guys looking for a bit of wet track there, even now. So, still trying to manage that tyre on what is only a wet, damp track, J-Man. So it's still a bit of a gamble, and it will be a challenge. Nippers in the pits.
Yeah, so that leaves Phil Turner out there leading this race, unpit stop, currently circulating 2:21.0.
Perkins.
Have to look back to Steve Melling and see what Melling's doing. He's doing 2:17.3, so I think that undercut will work very, very well for Steve Melling and the Mustang on the likes of Phil Turner. And he's still got Tim Nash tucked up and behind him. And the guy that opted for a great pit stop strategy that was behind those two prior to the pit stop was Tony Spence. And look what it's done for him. He's up into P9. Okay, so give you a read. So Nippers with a bit of a snaggy stop in the pit lane. That was a 35-second stop versus Stu Harris.
Oh, ouch. Ouchie out.
So, and then bleeding all that time, that sees Nips rejoin in the lane, effectively P12 as the holy roller, Rusty Shackelford. Get a little bit of Jesus come past.
He did. Melling struggling for pace there, J-Man, just picking up a replay of him running wide.
Yep.
Shield the Nash out of the final corner. So just really trying to come to grips with that Mustang in its current setup phase. So these guys going at it. Maybe just someone to chase in front of him will just help that rhythm. Mossy and Wadsworth continue to battle. Look, super clean, respectful racing from these two. Very, very tidy to watch.
Yeah, and look, they're doing a great job because Spence and Carson are probably around the same margin back there the lap before, and same with Damien Jones. As we see Jones really, really a long way out in the wet stuff, looking for more water, which I find interesting because he is on the wet tyre. There is a fair bit of rain falling. Predictive in the next 30 minutes is to be more, so good option for those guys that did go and get on that wet tyre early. As we see Perkins now in the lane, leaves probably, by my calculation, the only unpit stop cars out on track would be Uncle Joe and Phil Turner. And I think Phil Turner will soon discover that the running long was probably not the best idea given the way that the weather shaken out.
Doesn't always work out, his decisions. But yeah, so Lee Perkins in the pits as we speak. Wow, it is all going on again. Some good pairings here as we just focus on. Obviously, we've got the Phil Antoon and Shane Frodo up the pointy end, but the Jordan Moss Wadsworth, which is directly behind them, really, with Aerosmith sandwich in between, and then this Tony Spence, Sam Carson battle, J-Man continues as well. So Now, Tony Spence off in lap 1.
Oh, he's just done a fantastic job. He
No.
opted to go early with the boys. He went with Aerosmith and Co. To get on that wet tyre early, and it's been a saving race here.
Yep.
Like he's just put himself back in the fight because he has always had good car pace here tonight. We saw in race 1 he was incredibly quick looking for that podium, was holding a podium spot. Stewie Aerosmith snatched it, but you know he's got effectively podium car pace, but
it's got the
great
pace.
company with Carson behind him, and then Wadsworth with Jordan Moss. Those guys just are not putting a foot wrong right now, and I don't want to put the commentator curse on them because it often happens, but man, they are doing the business right now.
Yeah, it looks like Wadsworth's actually just dropped off the back of Mossy there too, so we'll just get over the rear winger of Mossy, and yeah, we can clearly see the headlights of the Ferrari now, which earlier we couldn't because he was tucked right up underneath that wing of the Mercedes. So yeah, backed off a little bit, but and the trouble is he's gone back into the clutches of Tony Spence and that Sam Carson battle. And you know, look, if he drops back too far, he will well be in amongst that. Another quick note is let's have a look at the Rusty Shackelford as well. Sorry, and Shields Nash. Let's get a look at that as well.
Yeah. The Sam Carson car that we were just on with Tony Spence too, that thing is an absolute rocket in these conditions at the hands of Sam Carson right now. He's just, we know how quick Tony Spence is, and Sam is up for the job. He's just right there with him the whole way. Jarks can make no inroads into that, but yeah. Back to Shields and Dash, that's a good little battle. Now Shieldsy come off a great qualifying performance in Q1, and then had a little bit of a coming together during the race, which probably altered his position. As we just see Matty Nipris does get back into the top 10 by the way of passing Rusty Shackelford into turn 1. So long way to go for Nippers with around 18 minutes left to go. What's the margin? 2.7 seconds up the road to Damien Jones. And then there's this trio that we talked about, the likes of Moss, Wadsworth, Spence, Carson. Those guys all lapping in the 15 bracket, and that's kind of the number that Nippers is lapping in as well, so it's not going to get any easier for the MRT Nissan going forward.
Over the rear wing of Timmy Nash's Ferrari there at the moment, with Nev Shields biting at his heels as we speak. J-Man closest battle on track as we speak. Here, next would be the Wadsworth Spence Carson battle. So plenty going on all the way through the field. The Wadsworth Spence battle is 6th, 7th and 8th respectively, and Timmy Nash and Shieldsy going hard at it in 12th and 13th respectively.
Yeah, get your eyes on Sam Carson here through this sector of the racetrack, and just look how straight he could drive this car tucked up in behind Spence. I'm not going to take anything away from Spence because he's starting to put a lot of pressure on Wadsworth now, who's just fallen off the back of Moss for a bit.
Yeah.
I've just been watching the Carson car, and I just can't help but think that, man, that thing is just, he just looks so in control.
So in car here, so we can see some wheel inputs here, J-Man, and you know, look, it does take some smooth inputs on it. What is quite a technical track, Cota, in these trying conditions. So Phil Turner in the pits, J-Man.
Yeah, so that basically, I think, leaves only Uncle Joe to make the stop in the award-winning
Uncle Joe Racing.
Yep.
Nissan there, winner of the best liveried car for the 2025 GT3 Season 1 here at Asrnz. So well done to Joe Grimmer for that accolade. And who painted that one?
It's a Steve Reese painted car, I believe.
It might be a Reese. Yeah, okay. So nice work. Classy stuff. obviously judged by J-Man and myself here for the. Oh, we're giving away the money, aren't we? So yeah, that's why we judged it. Let's get back to it. Wadsworth, Tony Spence, Carson, 5th, 6th, 7th, respectively, and it is on. We are winding down. 15 minutes to go, so we're a little over halfway, ladies and gentlemen. Again, in variable conditions. Geordie Moss just up in front there. I haven't been keeping an eye on the gap between Mossy and the boys, but Mossy.
Good send from Spence. Big send. We saw him do that on.
Can he make it stick here? It's not over yet. Wadsworth holding the outside line. Can he hold it in here?
Yeah, he'll look
it's
after
big.
it here. And look, Spence could be vulnerable here to Carso.
So he might get the lockout here. He's right offline now. And that run from Carson, look at, he's still well offline here. He can't, and it's just so hard to get. Has he got this though?
He's got it. He's stuck with it.
Carso's going, who do I follow here?
Oh, and you can see the intent.
And then into the pits.
Oh, now we've got Spence coming in the pits.
So let's just get a quick little recap on the end of that little exchange there, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is he in the pit lane? What is going on? Is he fuel sensitive here? Something's going on.
Don't see any penalty up for him, so. But what a great exchange from the boys there, J-Man. Outstanding. Driving from all, as we just, at the end of the replay there, just see Spence. Into the pit lane. Carso actually round Wadsworth in the background as well there. I wonder if we can just get that. Yes, we do. That is out of turn 1. So Wadsworth obviously rattled by all of that. Runs a little bit wide out of 1. And Carso all over it. Now in 5th position. He will be chasing Jordan Moss. You watch that space.
So Spence with a 10-second stop. I'm thinking that's a splash and dash. He was potentially light on fuel there, mate.
Rookie mistake, J-Man. It really is. It really is from the caliber of a driver like Spence.
Yeah, he'll be ruined that one because he was in the hunt. He was in the fight.
And we've seen it from a few of the top boys lately, not only here, but other leagues as well that we call. But we have seen some fuel issues from the top boys. So these guys stretching these fuel loads right to the limit, aren't they? So trying to weight save.
Yep, 100%. And now that battle still, that's going to rage on. I feel Wadsworth, Carson. Although the Carson car, I just keep saying, it looks so good.
It looks fast. It looks fast. I think Wadsworth sort of went back from Mossy. The Wadsworth car looked like it was getting slower anyway, as we saw Carson starting to move up. And Shieldsy there was with him. So, but can he chase down Geordie Moss? Geordie Moss in, really showing a clean set of heels here tonight, and got the Merc on point, and currently sitting in 4th provisionally. But the usual suspects, as always, up the top: Bill Antoon, Shane Fontenot, and Stu Asmith. Stu Asmith currently championship leader. And we are in round 5, so it's plenty of racing yet to go, ladies and gentlemen. Carso into what?
Yes, there's Stu Arrowsmith out there and kind of no man's land at the minute, but I don't think he'll be too phased about that.
I don't think so either.
And it makes it nice and easy for us because the hot box will be relatively simple because it's status quo for race 1. So I think your overall at this point of time, barring any changes, looking very much like Antoon over Fontenot over Arrows.
As it sits on your leaderboard at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. So we expect to have a quick chat with those boys.
Yep.
End of race 1 in about 10 or so minutes too, mind you.
Yeah, so leading into this round, I'll just give the viewers and yourself a bit of an update. Obviously, Stewie Arrowsmith on uncorrected order without the drop rounds leading the championship over Matty Nipris. But I can tell you, leading into round 5 after Watkins Glen, it would see Antoon at the top with a drop round scenario at 560 points over Stu Aerosmith on 549, Fodderdo on 508, Webley 506, Nipris 496. That's likely going to change now with the absence of Webley. Chan 463, Wadsworth 416, Thackeray 395, Nash 376, and then Spence 367 to round out the 10. But there's a whole heap of other stories we get down further through. I could talk about Sam Carson, Baker, Jones, Perkins, all in the 363, 358 apiece, shared between Baker, Jones. There's just a melee of points. Now, who was that? Was that Uncle Joe taking his official pit stop? I think it was, as he just got rounded up by Stu Aerosmith. Although I think maybe Uncle Joe missed the entry and he's pulling up to the side of the pit straight, so hopefully he's not in fuel trouble. But yeah, such is the points with the drop round. Opting for the drop round scenario in the point structure this year is going to play into the hands of the likes of Fodderdo and Antoon, who missed round 1. Did not start for both those cars there. Also, Tony Spence missed race 1, round 1. However, it's come back to the tune of good. He's looking to make a good inroad into his points scenario here tonight. So, yeah, very, very interesting scenario playing out. And, you know, I think Stewie Aerosmith, albeit on corrected order with the drop rounds, looking like he's second overall at the moment, likely going to take a little bit of a hit here. He's still well in the fight. And got to remember, this is Stewie Aerosmith's first campaign since coming to Asrnz in the big leagues. He was Pro-Am and then
only just recently got
shifted up to the big boys. And he's proven he deserved to be there.
Oh, look, I think to all the Pro-Am boys, he deserved to be up another class, without a doubt. But yeah, look, and really taking the pressure on and just going, yeah, look, he is a class act and he's worthy of being up that one class. And as look, we see over the series so far and week in, week out, just making the right calls at the right time. And the right calls are tyre choices, tyre pressures and the like, as we see the track change from what was a damp to a wet track. J-Man. Melling losing a position. We'll just get a replay on that. So running deep again. He struggled with that corner before earlier and let a couple through. Not just one, but a couple earlier in the race. So tough gig there for Melling. Same corner. So it's really got to just adjust his braking mark. Like I said, track's gone to a wet track now. So a properly wet track, not damp. So conditions ever changing. Get out and have a look at Nash and Shields. Shieldsy looking sharp tonight, mate.
Yeah, he looks good. And like I said, you know, great qualifying Q1 as well. And then backed it up again this one as well. Did a great job. And, you know, Tim Nash, we've seen that Tim Nash car.
Oh, yeah.
Well up the order at times, you know. He's got a great fan base, and
okay, always.
He's shown why at times because, man, he's super quick.
Yep, out of the OES stable, that one, J-Man, and another one to mention, Carso's pace tonight, mate. Wow.
Yeah, impressive stuff, and building towards a late sting in the tail with Jordan Moss there, because he's closed that gap down.
He's coming for him, you reckon?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, it was upwards of closer to 4 seconds not so long ago when that bit of a battle was going on with Carson and Wadsworth, and at the time I think it was Spence as well. So he's definitely
time winding down quickly though, mate.
It is 6 and a bit minutes, but I think so is the margin. I think he's just got that pace. Last lap round, Carson was a 16.2 versus Moss's 16.8, so over half a second there to be had. And with only 1.7 seconds, the difference between them on track, it'll only take a couple more laps and he'll be right on him.
Yeah, a couple more laps, or maybe just one, because the braking distance in that Aston Martin the Mercedes is visual. We don't even need to look at the timing to see Carso starting to range in on the back of Jordan Moss's Mercedes-Benz there.
Yeah, equally so for Matty Nippris on Damien Jones as well. So he's starting to put a lot of pressure on the back of Jones, and that's effectively that next battle pack back from Carson Wadsworth.
Yes, and what's the next one back? Is the Nash and Shields that we just touched on earlier.
Yep.
So
yeah, those guys have had a good night. They'll come out of it pretty satisfied that they got their money's worth as far as a race performance.
Oh yeah, gave their best, and yeah, look, good position so far. As Nippris really getting close now.
Yep. He'll have a big look up here into one. Pressure Jones to go deep, and then maybe cut back. Oh, he dives. Oh, I don't know if he'll stop it from there. That's a late move.
Jones just leaves him just enough space, J-Man, to do this, pull that off. Jones is going to stay on the outside. Yeah, so it's left him with the rights to the left. Nippris showing serious intent.
Man, I've seen this a few times now. They also do that there, and they also do it down the end of the big straight where it's a big late brake move, and it surprises me that they can manage to stop the car, and they seem to. I think we saw it with Spence on Stu Aerosmith in race 1, and then we saw it with Spence on Wadsworth and Carson recently before he made that fuel stop to the pits, and it just surprises me that they can still pull the car up, because it just looks like they're just going to blow on by. Here we go again. Matty Nippris has look, Jones covers, but compromised it here.
And again,
he bought the dummy there.
I think without the driver in front being aware that these guys are going to, dive that deep.
Carson Moss.
It could be vulnerable, very dangerous situation. Anyway, yes, and like we suspected, Carson has chased down Mossy. We have got a little under 3.5 minutes to go. That means we've got at least another 2. Where is Antoon, J-Man? We're going to have another couple of laps here. Yeah, Mossy's in trouble here.
Yeah. Yeah, Antoon's just crossed the line, so we're going to get 2 more.
It's going to be a tight finish here. We're just looking over the rear wing of Moss's car, and you can see Carso. You can see him working the throttle of the car, just slipping in the wet conditions there. Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, he's just woke Mossy up, because Mossy just did a good job at the back end of the lap there, although he's just run a little wide into the final corner, and that's going to leave him pretty vulnerable up into turn 1, because Carso got a really good drive off of there. Really good drive as we see the numbers already crunching, compounding into turn 1. Carso looks shallow. Mossy on the traditional line, we'll see him come out the other side pretty well.
Yeah, good tidy run from Moss there. No mistakes, not too much curb, kept the car on the road. Critical in these conditions, don't want to upset it. Carso throwing it at the apexes.
Oh, it just looks like the car's just willing to stay a little bit shallower on the apex than the Mercedes as well. It does look a little bit more stable.
And it picks up the lateral grip though, J-Man, too. Like, it's getting in early, but it's holding it too. So, which is critical in these wet conditions. So, look at the body language of the Carson car.
Yeah, so he can either throw one up here, and if he doesn't get it, he'll be vulnerable for a poor exit, or otherwise, if he comes back out, looks for the drive. Out on the straight, and he does a good job. Gets it right in behind.
Look, great work from Moss there. Just to put the car in the right spot.
Does, and you're correct there, Mr. Firth. Wadsworth could be rubbing his hands together here, but I think these guys are on some good pace. Now, the Shields Nash battle's been going on for a long time. Now, it is in the favour of Timmy Nash now. And who do they have? They have Thackeray just up the road. It might be a little bit too late for that. But, yeah, Carson Moss. Can Carson do it with what will be effectively 1 lap to go? Because rounding the final corner to start the final lap.
Oh, Nash Shields, J-Man. Nash Shields. Oh, it's going to be close for both of these battles here. We've still got Jones Still hanging on
There's Carso
the
with
back
a run.
of Nippers. Here we go. Carso, that car looking so hooked up in the back half.
I think that's his opportunity. I think that's his spot. I think if he gets the run and can get down the inside into the final turn and maybe take that away from Moss, that's maybe one of his strong points. The other one, I think, is at the end of Sector 1, the roller coaster, before they get into the tight left-hander to do the big back shoot. Maybe send it there and try and take away the line. I'll get a read on the top speeds of those cars. Carson, 264. Moss, 261. So he's got the benefit of 3k an hour on a straight line over the Merc. So he's got a couple opportunities, but I don't think he's got many. I think there's a good option coming here. Look at him building pressure here. This is where he can do it. Show the nose. Tuck the car back down a little bit tighter here, heading up towards this next left-hander. Oh, he thinks better of it. The next left-hander as well. He'll go through a dogleg left here. Can he be close enough? Yes, he is. He's got an option here. Poke it down the inside. Gets it done already before they get there. Now needs to focus on getting this car straight. Does have a mile an hour advantage down the straight here. Can he get it down there? Makes the apex. Mossy with a slightly better line though. He's going to come back at him. He's got the bigger engine. We know on paper it's the Aston. Mossy, does he look for a big send down into the braking zone? We can see Carson covering already. Where is our leader, Phil Antoon? He's still got a few corners to go, so we'll stick with this. Mossy Carso, but I think Carso's got this. Oof. And here we go.
It's on, isn't it?
Yeah,
these
Antoon
guys.
rounds the final corner to take a double header here. 2 poles, 2 race victory.
Oh, no, Carso running wide.
Oh, it's not done. Congratulations, Antoon, over Florido. Here we go. Carson's on the optimal line here. He's still got the rights to this, but if Moss can live on the outside, he'll have the rights to the next corner. Oh, look at Wadsworth. He's in there. He's just
overcooked it. No.
Carso for a look down the inside.
Final corner. Oh, Mossy's got wide.
Carson's going to come back.
He's got him.
He gets him. He gets him.
Oh,
beautiful stuff. Well done, boys.
Well done, all you boys. Antoon, Florido, Aerosmith, Carlton Moss. Wow.
Yeah,
Wadsworth just tucking behind. We've got Nippers, Jones, Shackelford, Thackeray coming around the final corner. Timmy Nash and Shields. That was a great battle going on in the background. Lee Pickens, Steve Belling.
Yep. Over Spence after that late splash and dash for the 420 McLaren.
Wow. Just
and he
wow.
Just off Kenny Simpson, Uncle Joe, Phil Turner.
Spence.
Get out of my cord.
Tony Spence, Kenny Simpson, Joe Grimmer, Phil Turner, Wally Baker with a beat up looking McLaren there. One of the Giga Racing boys. Dragging it home. Wow, J-Man.
Cue the hot box. Cue the hot box. Let's get it. Let's get them while they're hot. Let's get them while they're still pumped about it. And,
you just can't.
First cap of the rack, yeah.
You can't script this shit. I tell you.
No. Stu Aerosmith, well done, mate. A couple of podiums there on a very tricky night. Tell us about it.
Yeah, about that. It was pretty tricky. I think we were very lucky in the first race to get the amount of dry running we did, knowing that something was gonna turn up. But yeah, pretty loose.
Yep, and look, the race one was very, very awesome. A pretty intense battle with yourself. You know, look, it took you the better part of the race to obtain the podium. Big battle there with Tony Spence and co, and you got up there and got it done, and then had to defend it for the last probably 8 minutes, and you did a good job of it. But I think for me, the smart play tonight for Stu Aerosmith was race 2, the option of going early and really covering off, I think, what was a pretty tight battle with Matty Nipris, and it played big dividends. I think by the time you came out and he opted to go for his second lap, you'd already made 3.5 seconds, Stu. So I'm not sure how aware you are or what your competitors are doing around you and whether you are eyes focused on up the road on Whororo and Antoon, but that was a smart play from my call, mate.
Yeah. I was tonight. I knew Cota's not really one of my strongest tracks, and I thought, well, damage limitation, I'll just grab what I can. So, yeah, just that whole maximising the tyre at the right time. I suppose it just managed to pull it off. So, had a great battle with Matty Nipris there and Tony Spence. Had nothing for Shane and Mav out the front. So congratulations to those two. Those guys were rapid as tonight. So I'll take it. I'll take 2/3 any day.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, look, still looking good. I know on corrected order with a drop round, it mixes things up a little bit. But once again, halfway through the series, really proved the promotion was worthy. I think, Stu. You're still punching the numbers. And I think I know I've talked to you off camera a little bit, and there's times you pinch yourself about how your season's gone and things are going on. But mate, it's just drives like that. I think the Nordschleife, what you showed us there, and then just the smart decisions that you played tonight. We talk about the propeller heads and the 1% decisions, and look, you're making all the right ones, and irrespective of whether those front two just had that little bit more, I think not bad being the best of the rest, mate.
Yeah, a bit lonely in that second race, but it was cool to see a couple of teammates, Mossy and Casa, up there, and he did pretty well. So yeah, all in all, pretty good night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cheers for the chat, Stu. Looking forward to next week already, mate, because every week we seem to be getting the chance to have a chat to you, and you're turning up the goods. So well done, mate. More of the same, and enjoy that one.
Yeah, cheers, guys. I think we need to add some ballast to Mav. Well done. See you guys.
Awesome, mate.
Stuart Smith, everyone.
Yeah, we might do something a little bit different here. We'll bring both the Giga Racers down here, and we'll have a bit of a chat because I'm sure they've probably been debriefing themselves, and I want to get amongst that actually. So, first and foremost, congratulations, Shano, on a couple of good seconds challenging your teammate Mav
and Phil.
Also,
yes,
getting a couple of solid poles and a couple of solid victories, and a little bit of contact in there, a little bit of interesting race debrief after race one.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Yeah, that second race was awesome. That was good fun. Yeah, I just had so much more pace in that last sort of triple right-hander, and the lap before I saw an opportunity, and I was like, if I get that close again, I'm gonna send it. But we talked up the race. He didn't even know it was there. It happened so quick. Like I got up quite far, so I would have made the corner, but yeah, he just didn't know I was there.
And Phil, what's the call, mate? What's your opinion of those variable conditions, mate? Do you like racing in those sort of scenarios?
G'day, guys.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Like sometimes it's good. We haven't had much of it, I think, so I don't think we can complain about it. So I think it was refreshingly different, but the track's hard enough as it is when it's dry. So I didn't think we needed to do it at Cota.
And like you raise a valid point, mate, because look, like if you ask the majority of sim racers, they'll be just give us 25 to 27 degrees of optimal racetrack and we'll just go at it and sort it out. But I think Asrnz's been honestly quite different for a fair while now of really challenging you guys with these variable conditions and different stuff. But you guys dealt with it so well, and like honestly, the pace that you guys had, and then the time that you stopped, I think that one there for me, Shano, you made a little bit of ground on the way into the pit lane, very, very close to actually taking out that little marker on the way in the lane, and made some margin on Mav, and then went to it, and just strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if there was too much weaknesses, but there's certainly advantages throughout the lap. Phil, we could see race one that you were so quick through sector 1. Through sector 2-3 on the way out, and Shano, you were just hunting back down again. So it was really, really cool to see. And on corrected order, guys, I know going into round 5, obviously you both had a missed round at the start of the series. Obviously, it's going to be negated by the drop round scenario, and it already coming into this round put you on the top of the table. Phil, I'm not sure if you're aware, but and then Stewie. Relegated to second, heading into round 5, and then Shano, you're still well in the hunt too. So pretty cool stuff getting halfway through the series and it to be like that. So congratulations, boys. Fantastic racing tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good fun, and I'm glad Slambo was there because it would have been pretty boring just driving around the rain. No one around.
Yeah, my
Hey,
setup was a little sketchy on that. When the rain got a bit heavier, and I was like, oh, I probably should have adjusted it a bit. But yeah, so I sort of dropped back. But it was good fun.
Hey, just while we've got you two boys here too, I'll just take the opportunity. Obviously, Giga Race is a newly formed team. Some old friends in there. Obviously, just you guys have gone your way, and the team's strong. There's plenty of Giga Races in the field. Just talk to us about the dynamics of that team, and obviously the team's pretty successful with you guys spearheading it up the front. But how much support are some of the other guys? We saw Wadsworth incredibly quick tonight.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then, some other guys, how much support inside that team for those guys out there sim racing that maybe are doing it solo or looking to join a team? How much support does an outfit like Giga Races, or we have 777 as well? How much support do the maybe the pro-ams and the am drivers get out of an establishment like that on a weekly basis?
I think it would be like massively beneficial. Just that we share each other's, share setups, share advice. We always practice together. Yeah, it would probably be quite lonely without being out by yourself, not in a team, I'd say.
Yep.
And you wouldn't commit to it as much.
Yep.
That's why we're so competitive. Like we all want to beat each other.
Yeah, there's also like a banter component to it, which just motivates you to jump on the rig and pay each other out, have a bit of fun. So makes it a bit more palatable. Just
The
practicing
social
laps.
side of it as well.
Yeah.
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 So I think it's a combination of those two things. I think for me, so it's great.
Yeah, we'll
no,
be
that's
giving
cool.
Vic a bit of shit for chickening out in the rain.
Yeah. Look, he's having a challenging season, and I'm sure he needs all the support from his Giga stable.
Oh, yeah. Okay, make sure you do that publicly, actually,
Yeah.
on the ASN Discord, so we can all read it and laugh. So.
Well,
No,
I sent him a message. I was like, Vic, it's Brian, join. He didn't buy it.
No, hey, look, I
Awesome.
think it's cool. It's been something that we've seen more and more in the last probably 12 to 18 months, couple years even.
Yeah.
In the respect that we're seeing this camaraderie between these teams and guys like yourselves, like top tier racers, providing support, and even if it's helping guys that maybe not driving the same car, with the understanding around the engineering of it, I think it's brilliant. And it's, I think Phil Turner was a classic example. I think what it's done for Phil's racing with the support. So yeah, like to see more of that.
Kudos.
Cheers for the insight into that too, guys. I appreciate that, and congratulations on a top-notch night, boys. And yeah, looking forward to next week already, because you guys got the right colours on beside your totems on the leaderboard at the moment. Lots of silver, lots of gold.
Yep.
Keep going.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Right,
cheers,
boys.
boys.
Thanks
Appreciate
for the
it.
chat. Cheers, guys.
Thanks. Yeah.
Cheers.
Catch you next week.
See ya.
So Mav and Shane Fotterdo there, ladies and gentlemen, as we start to wrap things up and talking about next week. Next week is same again, maybe not the weather, J-Man, but same again, another sprint round, couple of 40-minute races at Masano, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you tune in for that. What a cracking couple of races, Jamie. Like I said before we brought the boys in, you just can't script this shit. We're just like, that could have gone either way. It could have been a totally boring, wet race at Cota, couldn't it? Or it could have been like that, and it was like that. You just don't know when it starts. So you couldn't have wished for any better. And what a finish at the end. Wow. Just wow.
Yeah, Jordan Moss. He will be,
those guys will be loving it. Yeah, they'll be loving it. So awesome. We loved it as well, of course, as you can hear, as we're calling it. But look, we love you guys too. So thanks for joining in again and joining us here tonight. J-Man and myself. calling what was just then Asrnz's 2025 GT3 Series Round 5. That was Cota in the pissing friggin' rain off and on over the night, which was friggin' awesome. Brought to you by, of course, Race Command, keeping all the wheels turning over at Asrnz, and multiple other places too, mind you. And of course, J-Man and myself, MATCHFIT Entertainment, broadcasting it to you again live tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like and subscribe. Please hit the like and subscribe. And we will see you next week in Masano. Thank you, J-Man.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.